Hey everybody, I have a question that I want to ask you. And a question I want to ask you is based off what I posted a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, I made a post and it said, relationships are not designed for selfish individuals. And so today, I just simply wanted to ask you all, are you a selfish man or woman? Because the fact of the matter is, if you are a selfish man or woman, you most definitely do not need to get married. You most definitely do not need to try to form meaningful bonds with family members. You most definitely do not need to have meaningful relationships with friends if you are a selfish person. You all already know the definition of selfish. Selfish is just a person who is only concerned about their wants, their needs, or things that would benefit them. It's also being a selfish person, it's also synonymous with being self-centered, because a self-centered person is only focused on themselves. They don't really take time out to think about you, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, your needs, or even things that you are going through, because it's about self. It's about self. It's about what that person wants. And you will find with a lot of selfish people that they will offend, they will manipulate, they will bully, they will expect, they will demand that other people meet them at the place to deliver what it is they feel they deserve. A selfish person is always looking for other people to give them what they want, whether it's finances, whether it's, okay, take care of me because I'm sick, support me because I'm going through a hard time, whether it's, okay, I am real attractive, I am a hot commodity, a lot of men want me or a lot of women want me, so you need to act appropriately because it is a privilege for you to have access to me, and it's a privilege for you to be in my life. A lot of selfish men and women, if we take it to the dating world, they conduct themselves that way. A lot of selfish men and women in the dating pool, they are self-centered and they are extremely selfish. It's all about them. It's their way or the highway. And simply telling a selfish person no, they will then manipulate, threaten, or even guilt trip you and shame you, or try to make you get to a place where you second guess yourself as a mother, as a father, as a friend, as a loved one, or even as a spouse. And so that is why I want to ask you all, are you a selfish person? Because what I want you to do is just be honest. Be real and be honest with yourself if you are selfish. I'm not here to condemn anybody that may be a selfish man or woman, because I do understand that a lot of people you come across who are selfish, they did not get that way overnight. A lot of selfish people, they became this way from childhood. And I'm going to give you guys a great example. This does not apply to everybody who is the only child, but there are some people who came up and they were the only child. So when somebody is the only child, they are not sharing things with the sibling. They grew up in a household where it was just them and their mother or their father or both parents or a grandparent. And so when things were given to them, they were not really taught to share with other people. It was not really a conversation because it was all about them. They were told, you're so cute, you're my only son, you're my only daughter, you my princess, you my little man, whatever it was. And so they grow up and they are accustomed to having their way. They are accustomed to getting their way in just about every situation. I don't necessarily look at their parent or their parents as being toxic or bad parents, because their focus was only on that child. And most parents focus is, okay, my child has a roof over their head, they have food in their stomach, they have clothes on their back. When it gets into all the other little miscellaneous things that you're supposed to teach your child or your children, as a parent, some parents, that's not their priority, it's not their focus. It doesn't mean they're a bad parent, it's just certain things were just not their focus, because it wasn't something that they looked at as really being critical or important. A lot of parents that have one child, they're just looking at, okay, well, I got my paycheck today, I'm about to buy my baby a pair of Jordans, I'm about to buy my baby this toy that they want for Christmas or for their birthday. But they're not thinking, let me sit this my son down, or let me sit my daughter down and tell her, if a cousin comes to the house, or if they take this toy to school, if one of their friends want to play with it, or if I let them go outside and one of their little friends in the neighborhood wants to play with it, it's okay to give it to them and let them share. It's okay to offer some of what you got to your friends or to other people. It was the same thing with little kids, and if they had a birthday party, or if they had food, or if they had snacks, and cousins came to the house, or they went outside and you were at the park with them and they were eating their candy in front of kids. Some parents did not teach and train their children to, ask your classmates, ask your friends in the neighborhood, ask your little cousins, do they want some? I'm just giving this as an example. It may not be your story, it doesn't have to resonate with everybody, but I'm just giving you all the background and a little bit of an explanation for why some people are selfish. On the other hand, there are some people who are selfish because of trauma. Some people, believe it or not, have gotten hurt, they have gotten wounded, they have gotten betrayed, and someone took advantage of them. A lot of people at one point in their life, they were a giving, selfless person. They were generous, they were loving, and they would bend over backwards for the one that they cared about, or the one that they loved, or the one that they trusted. Unfortunately, in your human experience, you will, if you have not already, come across someone or several people who are self-centered, and they are selfish people. They are only focused on themselves. And if you don't give them what they want, they will attack you and say that you're not a good girlfriend, you're not a good boyfriend, you're not a good husband, you're not a good wife, you're not a good brother or sister or auntie, you're not a good cousin, or you're not a good friend. And the person that is a very giving person, if they have been wounded or hurt, they will start taking it out on other people. They will develop a security blanket, or as they say, a defense, where they keep everything to themselves. You see this a lot in the single community. If you look around at some of the male podcasters. Look at some of the female podcasters. Look at single men and women in the world that you may know personally. Some of them are very wounded. They are very hurt. I'm just going to tell the truth. You can see it. You can discern it as they speak. There is a lot of rage. There is a lot of anger. And a lot of men in a single community, they don't see the benefit in getting married. They don't see the benefit in properly dating or courting a woman, because at one point they have gotten wounded or hurt by a woman or betrayed by a woman in some way, whether that woman cheated on them or lied to them or pretended to really like them, or even lied and told them that they loved them. And because they got hurt and because they got wounded, they don't trust other women. A lot of men and women have done this too. They've been wounded, hurt, and betrayed, or cheated on, or abused by a man, and so they will categorize every other man that comes in front of that man that they used to be with, and they will become selfish. They will be strong and independent, and they will feel like, I don't need a man for anything. I don't want a man for anything. I have my degrees. I make enough money to pay my rent or pay my mortgage and buy my groceries and do everything that I need to do without the help of a man. But I need you all to understand in this video two things. Number one, you need to be able to recognize why someone is selfish. I don't want you all to just jump the gun and dismiss someone who is selfish, because it's a background to each one of us. And so when you can crack through the background of someone or the upbringing of someone, that will more so give you more clarity and understanding as to why they are selfish. And if you just sit down and you listen to people and talk to people, you'll pretty much find out in a 10-minute, maybe 15-minute conversation why they are a selfish person and why they don't want to give. Another reason why people are selfish is out of fear. Some people fear sharing and giving and being generous because they feel that it's taking something away from them. Now, in a sense, if you are always giving and giving and giving and you are not receiving, okay, especially from the people you're giving to and you're pouring yourself out to, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whether it's in a sense of you're supportive, if you are not getting that back, you are hesitant to really be that type of person. You're not quick to go and jump up and go to somebody's dinner or birthday party, or you are not quick to share a part of yourself with someone who you have a fear of them not reciprocating. Okay? I just need you all to understand this, because there's layers to it and it's levels to it. I don't really believe that a person is just born selfish. I just don't. I don't believe that it's what's the word I'm looking for? An innate thing. Meaning they were just born and it was just naturally in them. I just don't believe that. I believe, depending on if they were raised as the only child, or they have been betrayed and used by somebody that they really love and trusted, or there's a fear there. Because sometimes people will find themselves giving and giving and giving, and in their time of need, nobody is anywhere to be found. And so when they experience that several times, they'll say, well, no, I'm not helping anybody else. I'm not giving anything else. I'm not offering anything else. But I told you all a few minutes ago, it was two things I wanted you to understand. The main thing was understand the background and get more clarity on why the person you may be involved with is selfish. Okay, watch them, study them, listen to how they talk. And if, ladies, you're dating a man that is not willing to go all out for you, you got to understand that that man was wounded at some point. Just like it's been some of us that were hurt. We were hurt by an ex-husband or betrayed by an ex-husband, or some of you ladies may have had an ex-boyfriend or ex-fiance. And so there is a part of you that is selfish. You are only focused on yourself. And the reality is this: in defense of all single women and in defense of all single men who may be like this, I don't think that a lot of you all intentionally want to be this way. I just think on your journey, for a lot of you all, you have to begin to heal. A lot of you all probably need to go and get a therapist, and you need to pour these things out to a therapist, and you need to get to a place where you allow God to open up your heart and you learn to trust again. And when you learn to trust again, and when you learn that everybody is not the same, and there are some people that are willing to give just as much as you do, then you will change being a selfish man or woman. But the other thing I wanted you all to know before I end this video message is this: if you are at a place right now in your life where you are a selfish man or woman, I need you to not get into a relationship. Now, friendships are going to have their ups and downs. Friendships are going to have their problems. No argument there, no doubt about it. However, there are some of you all, you know that you are at a very high level of selfishness. You know that you are not reliable. You know that a lot of people cannot count on you to be supportive of them when they need you. You know that you are not willing to give anybody anything, whether it's a couple of dollars if they need it, whether it's opening up your door if they need to stay with you for a little while. Maybe it's they need some food because they running low and they just struggling. They didn't get paid a lot and they running low on funds and they need a few little groceries to last them to their next paycheck. These are real things, people, that are going on, and I talk about these things on my platform. But if you know that you are a selfish man or woman, I'm just telling you, I am making the suggestion that until you learn to be more of a giver and until you learn to be more considerate of other people's feelings, and until you learn that it's not your show and it's not your way or the highway and it's not all about you, you need to stay by yourself, because you don't want to get someone to a place where they despise you or resent you. And a lot of broken marriages, a lot of broken friendships, a lot of broken relationships with family members happen simply due to someone being a selfish person. And it is not talked about a lot. We mention it in passing by, but I wanted to go deeper into this topic because I do understand that there's a background to people and there are very traumatic and hurtful things that each one of us have experienced. And even simply being a single man or a single woman for a long period of time, I do believe that each one of us, there's a certain level of selfishness in us because we have gotten so accustomed to living life on our own terms. We are not really willing to compromise and throw away our level of comfort in order to make another person happy. And that's just real talk. And so if you are a selfish man or woman, no matter how high or how low the level of your selfishness is, before you get married or remarried, before you start dating, before you start forming deeper bonds with family members and friends, check that part of yourself, because you never want somebody to get to the place and to the point where they resent you. You don't want anybody to despise you. I know some of you all gonna say, well, Kiki, I really don't care how somebody feel about me. It doesn't make a difference. I don't feel no way about it. It is all about me and da da da. I know a lot of you all, unfortunately, you're very arrogant and you are very uppity and smug, and you think that you are God's gift to women, or you think that you are God's gift to men or the world, and you feel like the world revolves around you. But you have to change this part of yourself, because there is going to be a time that you are in need. Don't ever get so big and so cocky and confident that you feel like or believe that where you are now, you're always going to be there. I tell you all this all the time. There's going to be a time and a place where you need love, you need support, you need assistance and some type of help. And you do reap what you sow. So if you're not putting out anything, you're never there for anybody, you're never supportive, there's going to be somebody that treats you the same way. And if you're not getting anything in your time of need, you could possibly get to the point that you are completely destitute. And God forbid that happens to you. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I am not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.